I'm going to be doing a quick thoughts on the New World of Darkness core rulebook. Nothing to redo this because the last video didn't quite work, but here we go. Now, have you ever had something that you really, really love, but when you talk about it, it sounds like you hate it because the fact that you love it means all the little things that are not quite right really, really bother you? This is what the New World of Darkness system is for me. Now, one thing I really like about it is it's intuitive. One of the problems I often have when I'm GMing or DMing or SCing or whatever is often it's just hard to come up with difficulty classes or penalties on the fly. Like, the two most egregious cases are D&D, because of difficulty classes. Not only do you have to work out how difficult things would be to be a challenge for that level, they're also just a bit difficult to come up with the fly, at least for me. And the Exalted system. Now, this might apply to the old storyteller system, but I know that the Exalted 2nd edition is a modified version of it. I'm not sure how modified it is. One of the things that I always found really difficult was internal versus external penalties. I could never quite get the difference between them, and which one got rid of successes and which one got rid of dice, and when you used either of them. And I'm kind of glad in hindsight that the Exalted game I was going to run never got off the ground, because things would just go terribly wrong, just because I could not quite get my head around external versus internal penalties. But this, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't run it yet, but the World of Darkness system seems a whole lot more intuitive. Like, you get bonuses for having the right tools for the job and being, having things favorable for you, and you have penalties for things being not so great. And penalties stack intuitively, and you can often find values for whatever penalty you're talking about, and it's relatively easy to work out whether something's a -1 penalty or a -3 penalty, because the numbers aren't that big, and all it does is takes away dice. You don't have to worry about taking away successes or whatever. And I like it for that. It seems like it'd be relatively easy to storytell for. Now, the two things I kind of dislike, I don't like the way they've changed the names of some things. For whatever reason, Onyx Path has taken the slightly poncy route and used different names for basic things. Like, you don't have a game master, you have a storyteller. You don't have a group, you have a troop. And the thing that really gets me is Chronicle, Story, and Chapter. Because I'm used to those being called campaigns, either scenarios or adventures, and sessions. And I get Chronicle and Story mixed up a lot. And so I'm reading the storytelling system of the book, and I'm going, are they talking about scenarios? Are they talking about campaigns? And it's just kind of awkward. Now, the thing that really, really bothers me is the way the morality system works. Now, overall, I don't mind the morality system. I think it's a good idea. It stops players from just being evil for no real reason and having no penalty for it. The thing I don't like is the way derangements will interact with that. Because in this system, losing morality gives you derangements. And the thing I don't like about this is I can see why they did it. They needed a way to put in derangements, and they needed a way to punish people for having one morality. And, doing evil things that makes you mentally ill is an iffy idea, and it's a bit weird, but I can kind of let it slip. The only problem is our culture has this nasty cultural meme that mentally ill people are more likely to be violent. And the thing is, in this game, if there's someone with a derangement, you can be able to make an assumption that they have a lowish morality, and you won't necessarily be hugely off base. And while I know people don't necessarily conflate stories in real life, I find it really, really iffy. Now, overall, I do like the World of Darkness system. There's a lot of little things I love. Like, I like the way that the wounds work. Like, in D&D, you've got non-lethal damage and you've got lethal damage. And you can take as much non-lethal damage, and the worst that'll happen to you is you go unconscious. And then there's a limit to how much lethal damage. But with the World of Darkness system, if you get hit enough times, even if you're just being punched, you will eventually die. And I like that, because it just makes more sense. Overall, I would recommend people interested in World of Darkness to get the new World of Darkness core rulebook. Like, I mean, it's good for that. And if you're gonna get the new world, if you're gonna get into New World of Darkness, you're gonna get the core rulebook anyway. If you want to run like an urban fantasy or an urban horror setting, it's really, really good for that as well, and I would recommend it for that. In general, I just recommend it as a system. It's the nicest. So that's all my thoughts on the New World of Darkness core rulebook for right now. I'm probably going to fairly soon do a Changeling the Lost thoughts on review video. I've read most of it, and so far I like it, but there's some bits that I don't know. I overall like it, and I'll tell you more about it in that video. So, see ya.